Have you ever been such a fan or thought an actor was so perfect that it would be impossible for them to lie? Well, in 2025, some of the most respected names in Korean entertainment were exposed, caught in contradictions, scandals, and stories that simply didn't add up. Today, you'll learn about some actors who were publicly unmasked and how it destroyed the image the public had of them. Sohi is one of the most talked about actresses in recent years, for her beauty, her intense delivery in dramas, and of course, for her completely unusual authenticity in the Korean industry. But in 2024, it wasn't a role that put her name at the center of attention, but rather a supposed personal story that divided opinions and generated huge online buzz. It all started when she revealed, during an interview, that she had been accepted to a prestigious art university in France, but couldn't go due to lack of money. According to her, the visa would require 60 million won, something beyond her reality at the time. The statement sounded sincere, almost like an emotional confession from a young woman who dreamed of the impossible, and many fans were moved. But on the internet, nobody swallows everything so easily. It only took a few hours for netizens to start digging into details, and what emerged was a sea of questions. Various users claimed that the amount needed to obtain a French student visa was actually much lower, around 9.6 million won, according to official information available on the embassy website and specialized forums. But it didn't stop there. Others raised an even bigger doubt. How would Sohi have been accepted to a French university without speaking French? No proof of fluency was presented, and the actress never demonstrated having studied the language in depth. Rumors even emerged that she had romanticized part of the story to appear more cultured, more suffering, more dreamy, creating that almost cinematic image of an artist who almost overcame everything, but was stopped by social injustice. The agency's response came quickly, trying to contain the avalanche of suspicions. They confirmed that she really was accepted, but said they wouldn't expose more details to preserve the actress's privacy. The strategy, however, generated even more doubts. After all, why not present documents, emails, or a simple letter from the university confirming the acceptance? The problem is that when you mix vague information with a public image built on authenticity, any slip becomes an earthquake. And that's what happened. Even without clear proof of lying, the episode left a shadow of distrust around Sohi. And the most dangerous thing is that, in this type of situation, the lie doesn't need to be confirmed. It's enough for doubt to remain. In the end, she wasn't officially debunked, but she also couldn't completely clear her image. She was left in limbo between did she make it up, and was it just a misunderstanding? And in this middle ground, the shine of sincerity begins to lose strength. Jong Hyun was, for a long time, one of the most promising names of the new generation of idols who also act. A member of the band Lu, he had a solid career in music, and was starting to gain space in the world of dramas. He seemed to have everything to keep growing: fame, looks, talent. But in 2019, what would be the biggest scandal of his life came to light, and it still directly affects his image today. The case became known as the Burning Sun scandal, which involved big names in Korean entertainment and exposed a network of crimes, abuse, and sharing of intimate videos without consent. At the center of everything was Jong Hyun, but Jong Hyun appeared as an important piece in this dark puzzle. Initially, his agency denied with all their might any involvement by the singer. They stated that he didn't participate in the chat groups and had nothing to do with the videos or messages exchanged between those involved. For a moment, this version almost stuck. Many fans rushed to defend him, saying it was all just rumors and unfounded accusations. But then came the plot twist. Shortly after, Jong Hyun himself admitted that yes, he participated in the private chats. He confirmed that he watched the illegally shared videos and made disrespectful comments about women. What was rumor became reality, and what was defense became contradiction. The disappointment was enormous. The public felt betrayed, not just by the gravity of what he did, but by the way he tried to hide it. How he tried to maintain a clean image while behind the cameras he was part of something so disgusting. The exit was inevitable. He left Lu amid popular pressure, and since then, his career has practically disappeared. Unlike other involved parties who tried to make amends, Jong Hyun vanished. He tried to maintain silence, avoid the spotlight, as if he could erase everything with absent time. But the Korean public doesn't forget, especially when the subject involves disrespect toward women and attempts to manipulate the truth. Forgiveness didn't come, and probably never will. Today, his name is practically taboo in the industry. He might continue making music independently or trying to return behind the scenes, but the truth is that the label stuck. He lied. He was an accomplice. And when he had the chance to redeem himself, he chose silence. In a country where image is almost everything, Jong Hyun threw his away, with his own hands. Su Hyun was always seen as Korea's golden boy, Charismatic, smiling, talented, with a career built without scandals, until then. But in 2025, this image of perfection was drastically shaken. It all started when the controversial channel Garosero research revealed that the actor had allegedly had a secret relationship with fellow actress Kim Se-ran. And most seriously, the relationship would have started when she was still a minor, at 15 years old. The revelation came accompanied by photos, letters, and dates that left the public in shock. The scandal exploded like a bomb. For years, the two had kept any involvement out of the spotlight, but now, everything was exposed. Indignation took over social media. After all, if it were true, we weren't just talking about a hidden relationship, but a possible case of grooming, with very serious moral and legal implications. The pressure was so great that Su Hyun was forced to make an official statement. In March 2025, he broke his silence and denied the accusations. He stated that the relationship with Kim Se-ran only began after she reached the age of majority, and that all contrary information was false. He even announced that he would take legal action for defamation and wouldn't let his reputation be destroyed by rumors. It was a firm statement, but, as we well know, this wasn't true. And everything became tragically worse because Kim Se-ran had been found dead. The news shook the country. The circumstances of her death were still unclear, but rumors about emotional pressure and public scandals weighed on the young actress. It was the turning point. The commotion was immediate, and with it, the indignation. The public began to look at Kim Su Hyun no longer as an unjustly accused person, but as someone involved in a poorly explained story. The public's response was divided. Part of the fans remained by his side, trusting his word, but a significant part became wary. After all, the evidence released by the channel was suspicious at the very least. The letters seemed too real. The dates matched perfectly with old public appearances. And even without definitive proof, doubt was planted. The blow to his career was immediate. Important brands like Prada canceled contracts. Partnerships were suspended. His name, which was once synonymous with credibility, became controversial. And the internet, which doesn't forgive, began revisiting every gesture, every old video, every behind-the-scenes moment, searching for any sign that would confirm or deny the story. The most serious thing is that, even with the official denial and threat of lawsuits, Kim Su Hyun couldn't turn this page. The scandal continues to hover over his name like a heavy cloud. He might try to continue his career, take on new projects, but the image of untouchable actor was broken. And once broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. This case is still open. The courts will decide if there's legal basis for the accusations. But in public opinion, the trial has already begun. And when it comes to trust, just one crack is enough to compromise an entire reputation. Yong Hun is one of those names that commands respect. With decades of career, memorable performances, and international recognition, he was always seen as one of the great pillars of South Korean acting. But behind the prestigious image, there's a sequence of controversial episodes, poorly explained lies, and attitudes that left a trail of distrust in a good part of the public. And the worst part, he never seemed very concerned about resolving this with clarity. What many don't know is that Yong Hun has already faced multiple accusations throughout his career, some so serious they threatened to ruin his entire reputation. He's been cited in scandals involving illegal gambling, emotional manipulation, and blackmail. In 2014, one of the most striking cases, 2 women were arrested for trying to extort him after he made obscene comments on video. The situation became a public circus. And although he was technically the victim of blackmail, the exposed behavior generated a huge wave of criticism. After all, a married man with an established career getting involved in sexually explicit conversations with much younger women, this was just one of the episodes. Others came later, including lawsuits for alleged falsehood and evasion of responsibility in private business. In all cases, the posture was the same: deny, counter with lawsuits, and avoid at all costs any admission of error. Officially, he won several of these disputes in court, but on social media and in public opinion, the feeling that remained was different, that there's always something strange behind the scenes. The biggest criticism from fans isn't just about what he did, but about how he deals with accusations, always with coldness, always trying to turn the page as if nothing had happened. There's never a true apology, never a convincing explanation, and over time, this tires even the most faithful admirers. Not surprisingly, with each new project announced with his name, the same comments arise. Him again? Are they still hiring this guy? Doesn't the industry ever learn? Yong Hun might continue getting big roles and awards, but trust, that can't be bought with trophies. The Korean public is demanding, and when they feel someone is being dishonest, the wound doesn't heal easily. Yong Hun's problem isn't just what he did, it's what he never had the courage to say. When the truth comes to light, not even the most beautiful face can save a career. These cases show that behind the cameras, there are stories the public never imagines. Now I want to know from you, which of these scandals shocked you the most? comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell, because here, the mask always falls.